Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. When you think of butternut squash, the first thing that comes to most people's minds is soup. But soup is so boring. Today I want to show you a delicious recipe that I never get tired of making. Butternut squash risotto. Check the description box below for the full ingredients list. And if you like the recipe, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing if you want to see more recipes. Let's get started. First I'm going to start with one butternut squash. I'll cut off the top and bottom, peel it, cut it in half, and using a spoon, remove the seeds. You can either discard of the seeds or toast them and use them as garnish. Now I'm going to slice and roughly chop the bottom half of the squash into approximately 2 centimeter pieces. Then I'll transfer that to a pot. Place the pot over medium heat and add 2 cups of low sodium chicken or vegetable stock and a 1/4 teaspoon of dried thyme. Stir that and cook it until it's soft. For the top half, trim off the outsides and add that to the pot with the rest of the squash. For the remainder, dice it into cubes about 2 centimeters or 1 inch in size. Now transfer that to a bowl or container and set it aside. Next I'm going to peel 1 small shallot and I'll do a brunoise cut. This is a term in French cooking which refers to a fine dice that is 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter. This should give you about 3 tablespoons of brunoise shallots. Now I'll set that to the side, and next I'm going to mince 2 cloves of garlic. This should make about 3 teaspoons of minced garlic, but you can adjust that to your own taste. Set that aside and peel 1 small onion. Now I'll finely dice the onion. It should be cut to the size of a grain of rice or smaller. This is about 1/3 cup of diced onion. When the squash is soft, remove it from the heat and transfer it to another vessel. Place the pot back onto medium-low heat and add 1 tablespoon of butter and allow that to heat up. Now I'm going to add the shallots and 1/3 of the minced garlic, or about 1 teaspoon, and stir that constantly, cooking until it's fragrant. Now I'll increase the heat to medium-high and add 2 tablespoons of white wine. Allow that to boil until the wine has reduced by about 2/3. When the wine has reduced, add the cooked squash to the pot and stir the mixture well. Now I'll reduce the heat to minimum and cover the pot with a lid, and I'll come back to that later. Now I'll place another pot over low heat and add 2 cups of water and 2 cups of low sodium chicken or vegetable stock. Then I'll cover the pot and allow that to heat up. Now I'll put a sauté pan over medium-high heat, and when that's hot, I'll add 1 tablespoon of oil. Now I'll add the diced squash to the pan. Make sure that you use a pan with enough surface area so that the squash is not overcrowded and can be spread out in one layer. This will allow for better browning. Add a 1/4 teaspoon each of salt and white pepper and continue to cook the squash until it's browned and soft but not mushy. This should take about 7 to 8 minutes. Be sure not to overcook it. When the squash is fully browned, add 1/3 of the minced garlic, or about 1 teaspoon. Mix that and keep it in a warm spot until you're ready to serve. Now in a pan over medium-low heat, add 1 tablespoon of butter and the diced onion. Cook the onions for about a minute, stirring constantly, then add the remaining 1/3 of the minced garlic and continue to cook until fragrant, but be sure not to brown the onions or garlic. Now I'm going to add 1 cup of Arborio rice, and I'm going to stir that frequently while the rice toasts for about 2 to 3 minutes, or until the grains turn from opaque white to translucent. Then I'll increase the heat to medium-high and add 1 cup of white wine. Then I'm going to stir the rice constantly until the wine is fully absorbed and it's almost dry. When the wine is fully absorbed, I'll add 1 ladle of the stock that I heated up earlier and continue stirring constantly until the stock is fully absorbed. Then I'll add another ladle and repeat this process until all of the stock is used up. Some people will say that you don't have to stir risotto constantly, but this is the classic method for making risotto and in my opinion yields the best results. Arborio rice is a variety of rice with a very high starch content. The slow, gradual addition of the liquid allows the rice to slowly leach out its starches, which thicken the risotto and result in the creamy texture. The risotto should take about 20 minutes to cook. When risotto is fully cooked, it should be al dente. Before adding the last ladle or two of stock, taste the risotto to make sure the rice is not overcooked. You don't want to accidentally make porridge. When the risotto is fully cooked, turn off the heat and stir in 2 tablespoons of cold butter. Risotto is always finished with butter. This is referred to as mounting or monter. It emulsifies the butter into the sauce, adding to the creamy texture. Have a food processor or blender ready to add your squash puree along with a 1/4 cup of cream and a tablespoon of cold butter, and puree that until it's smooth. Now to the risotto, I'll add half of the squash puree along with a 1/4 cup of fresh grated Parmesan cheese, and I'll fold those together. Next I'll add half of the cooked diced squash along with a pinch of fresh chopped herbs. I'll mix that and then it's ready to serve. To plate the risotto, put a few tablespoons of the squash puree in the middle of your bowl and make a circle. Then into the middle of the circle, scoop a few ladles of risotto. Now I'm going to garnish the risotto with more of the diced squash, along with some fresh squeezed lemon juice, some shaved Parmesan cheese, and top with more of the fresh chopped herbs. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the recipe, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing if you want to see more. Let me know in the comments below if you tried the recipe or if you have any requests for future videos. Till next time, take care and good luck cooking.